Good sayings of Steve Jobs help you succeed. Steve Jobs is considered a great figure in the technology industry worldwide. He is the creator of many modern technology products such as MacBook laptops, iPods and iTunes, iPhone phones and famous animation studios Pixar. He has great influence and is considered one of the most successful leaders worldwide. Here are some great quotes from Steve Jobs to help you be more successful in life. 1. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly, and get on with improving your other innovations. 2. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. 3. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And, like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking until you find it. Don't settle. 4. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful. That's what matters to me. 5. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. 6. I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. 7. Getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. 8. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. 9. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. 10. Sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. 11. Things don't have to change the world to be important. 12. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. 13. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. 14. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noises of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. 15. Older people sit down and ask, what is it? But the boy asks, what can I do with it? 16. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world, are the ones who do. 17. We don't get the chance to do too many things, and every single thing we do has to be really great. Because this is our life. Life is too short and then you die, you know. And we all choose to do this with our lives. So it's better to do it well, it's worth it. 18. No one wants to die. Even those who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And death is the destination for all of us, no one can escape. And so it should be, because death is perhaps life's best invention. It is the change agent of life. It erases the old to make way for the new. Right now is you, but one day not far from today, you will gradually become old and erased. I'm sorry if that sounds exaggerated, but it's absolutely true. 19. Remembering that I'm going to die is the most important tool I've ever had to help me make the big choices in life. Because most things, all futile hopes, pride, fear of losing face or failure, all of this fades away when we face death, leaving only what is really important. Remembering that you will die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you still have something to lose. You really have nothing. There is no reason not to follow your heart. 20. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. 21. It's really hard to design products by focus groups. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. 22. Software is the user experience. As the iPod and iTunes prove, it has become the driving technology not just of computers but of consumer electronics. 22. Now when we see new things or opportunities, we can seize them. In fact, we have already seized a few, like desktop movies, wireless networking, and iTools. A creative period like this lasts only maybe a decade, but it can be a golden decade if we manage it properly. 23. We tend to focus much more. People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. I'm actually as proud of many of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. 24. My job is to not be easy on people. My job is to make them better. My job is to pull things together from different parts of the company and clear the ways and get the resources for the key projects. And to take these great people we have and to push them and make them even better, coming up with more aggressive visions of how it could be. 25. I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. 26. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it, keep looking, don't settle. 27. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick, don't lose faith. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? 28. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. 29. Deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. We're just enthusiastic about what we do. Learn continually. There's always one more thing to learn. 30. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. 31. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid trap of thinking that you have something to lose. You are already naked. There's no reason not to follow your heart. 32. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly, and get on with improving your other innovations. 33. You have to have a lot of passion for what you are doing because it is so hard. If you don't, any rational person would give up. 34. Sometimes the first step is the hardest one. Just take it. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. 35. Don't worry about many things at once. Start small, think big. 36. People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick up carefully. Above are some good sayings of Steve Jobs in English. Hopefully this article will help you come up with some ideas to bring a better life.